You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the BQN Podcast Collective. I'm your host for today, Thad, and joining me as always is my co-host, Chrissie. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. I have to be very careful about how I put in the instructions for this new AI game that I've got. I have to make
Well,
sure
that was your first problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to make sure that it doesn't take me too seriously, and worried about it shutting down everything. But other than that, how about you, Thad?
Well, I'm not having any trouble getting people to understand me because I am known for my diction.
Yes, you are.
Also joining us today is Katie Nickolau. Katie, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to talk about this one.
Before we jump into our topic for the day, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make the show possible, particularly associate producers Carl Wonders and Christie De Clerck-Szilagyi. Listeners, you can hear your name listed as one of our associate producers for a monthly subscription of just $10, and your subscription of any amount at patreon.com/BQN keeps all of the shows on the network ad-free. All right. Strange New Worlds, a space adventure hour. What did you think of this week's episode, Katie?
Well, see, this is an interesting one because I was at San Diego Comic-Con and we got the early screener for it in Hall H, so a room with, I think it was like 6,000 other people.
Oh,
and I got to watch it
cool.
with their reactions. Some people weren't Trekkies, too, which made it a little interesting, but others were.
Nice.
And I think I had a blast with it. It was fun. It was a nice return to the thing that Strange New Worlds does best, and that's having fun with their episodes. And when you look at especially newer Trek, like Discovery, they didn't have much wiggle room for that. Lower Decks, it was a lot of fun with the episodes. Prodigy was a good mix, and Picard was a little bit more serious. So it's like, it continues that trend of we aren't taking ourselves too seriously, but it's going to be a good episode.
Yeah, I agree. I always love a good holodeck romp.
Oh yeah.
Chrissie, what do you think this week?
I loved it. I was glad to see, because we weren't sure with the trailer if the holodeck episode and the space adventure 50s style, well 60s style, was going to be the same episode. So I was glad to see that those two things actually were together, because I don't know how that would have worked otherwise. There was the clothes that she was in the because that the style that could have been a little 40s, that could have been so I wasn't sure anyway. But yeah, I love how they did this. I love the commentary, and I love, like you said, that they're not taking themselves too seriously, but they are also acknowledging how serious Trek is.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that speech at the end that Uhura / the agent makes is just beautiful.
Excellent, yeah. Yeah, so we start out the episode and I honestly thought for a while that we were just going to be this the whole episode, and I was here for it. I would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could have handled that if it was just the one.
But yeah, we start out just in a scene of the Last Frontier, which is the inside the murder mystery, the Star Trek inspired TV show that all of the people involved in the murder mystery worked on. And,
the inception of the holodeck.
Yeah, and it is just amazing. I suppose at this point I should not be surprised that there will always be people on the internet who hate every episode no matter what. But
Yes.
there are people that think this is like insulting to the original series, and I do not get that at all.
No.
I get this as clearly a loving, poking fun at, but not insulting. The people who are doing this clearly like it. They're just, yeah.
Exactly. No, it was like it's not taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
I think is the way to put it, because we all know when you look at the TOS like era and the episodes, this kind of it's like a loving poke to it, but it didn't spend the whole episode trying to like be misogynistic and like stuff like this. Like, no, it's pointing out like, yeah, there were some problems, but it's okay now.
That's a good point. That it showed the schlockiness, the bubblegum buttons, and the the plywood sets without. I mean, there's mention of the sexism with the actresses, but it's not like glorifying it or even validating it.
And they don't like show any on screen Last Frontier sexism. Like there is
not at all.
Like there isn't at any point the captain like telling the women to know their place or something stupid.
I can't get used to a woman on the bridge.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, exactly.
I love how that's been retconned. Have you heard how that's been retconned?
No.
He
Someone
says
retconned?
I can't get used to a woman on the bridge versus I can't get used to all of the bridge crew being women.
Huh.
So a singular woman versus.
Okay, but then the part where how do you explain the part where he says, "Well, Una, you're not really a woman," or whatever it is he says, or I don't think of you.
Yeah,
as a woman.
I can't explain that, and I didn't come up with that retcon. I just thought it was funny.
That is hilarious. Oh,
we'll explain
gosh.
it by saying he was just being a jerk at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the PTSD from the ear ringing planet.
Yeah.
There you
Because
go.
we established they had just been there.
Yeah. Anyway.
I couldn't remember the name of the planet, but the one that go
Which
back.
one? Yeah.
The one that was having him consider leaving Starfleet.
Yes.
When the doctor had to come in with his
The man will
bag
tell his
full of
bartender
mixed
things he will never tell his doctor.
drinks.
So, one thing that I didn't notice when first watching it, because it just sort of happened seamlessly, but they give us the full frame 16:9 aspect ratio for the TV show, and then they go back out to the ultra wide of the regular.
Right.
I did not notice that at all. Good eye.
That's a good catch.
I mean, obviously, if they wanted to be true realistic, they would have done 4:3, but that...
I was about to say. That's all right.
There's only so much they can do.
Yeah, and by filling the screen, it achieves the same effect, sort of, because...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nobody's watching this on a 4:3 screen, or I shouldn't say nobody. Very few people are watching
One
this
person.
on a 4:3 screen.
There is someone somewhere who has jury-rigged a Google Chromecast to a old...
Or they're using like a first-generation Roku or something, because those have the RCA jacks on them.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, so we get this. We have the amazing schlocky Shatner impression. It is...
Oh, yes.
Mm.
And it's great because I remember when Paul Wesley first showed up as Kirk, he did an interview where he said he wasn't gonna, or when he was first cast as Kirk, he wasn't gonna do the over-the-top pauses and dramatic, but he did kind of hope he would get a chance to, like, he would get a chance to do it as a joke at some point, and here we go.
Here's the point.
And they even do the thing where the lights dim and it just is the spotlight on his eyes.
Right. Frakes must have been going nuts with this.
Oh my god,
Oh
yes.
my
I can not imagine any better director for this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially with that outtake at the end when...
Oh my gosh, yes. That was the entirety of Hall H erupted at that. It was incredible. Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, so next year, SDCC, they've established a pattern now. They need to show a Frakes-directed episode with a chair Rikering joke in it.
There we go. I would love to see that.
Because they showed Those Old Scientists last year.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago, I guess. But yeah.
If one of the puppets tries to Riker a chair.
Oh my gosh.
And I kind of hope Frakes is directing that one. I have no idea what's going to happen, but
They've got
I
to
feel
bring
like,
him back for the puppet one.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean that just. But I mean, to be able to get the puppet to that would be awesome.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, Riker.
Yeah. Yeah,
Riker.
it's kind of it's actually kind of wild because like when they do that to show an episode, because like you were saying, a bunch of the people in the audience are there to hold seats for a panel later, so there's gonna be people there that are like, oh, I don't care about Star Trek, and now they're stuck watching an episode of Star Trek.
Well, and that was the thing. I was sitting. Well, because I was up near the front, and so there were a lot of people who were Trekkies who were like there to be there. But my friend was in the back, and he was sitting next to people who were waiting for, I don't know, it was a panel later in the day.
Right.
And like during the beginning of it, they leaned over to like one another and were talking, and they're just like, this is awful. They think this is funny. And I'm just like,
because they didn't get it that it was a joke. Yeah.
The whole point is that it's supposed to be like campy and stuff. So
They thought this is actually what Star Trek is like.
Exactly. They're like, oh, that intro's terrible. It's like, it's a parody. It's all a parody.
That's amazing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Nerds can be very loving to each other, and they can also be the harshest critics.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got so lucky, though, because usually, Marvel and DC, they have, like, larger panels and stuff and big drops, and we just didn't have that this year as much.
That's true.
So, because the big movies came out.
Because they had both just released their big movies, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they had a lot of stuff off sites, and like they had, they still had some really good panels, but it wasn't as much of a intense, I have to get into Hall H as years prior. So that ended up working out in Trekkie's favors.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, because there isn't I have to admit I am not up on the DC schedule, but I know there isn't another Marvel movie until next July.
Right, yeah, the Spider-Man one that's coming out, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Brave New World? Yeah.
Or
whatever it is.
It's not that.
Is it Brand New Day or something?
Brand New Day, that's it.
Brand New Day. Like, it's something.
Is it an Aldous Huxley novel or a song by Sting? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Brand New Days. Yeah. I have no idea what the next DC... I don't keep up as well with DC. I did see Superman. It was really good, but...
I need to see that yet. I haven't been able to... I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Fantastic Four.
That's also
good. I haven't seen the new Naked Gun.
I have not
nice.
seen the new Naked... Well, I mean, that literally just came out this weekend.
Yeah.
I was not sure about that, but I've heard so many people say that it's amazing, so now I think I need to see it.
I love the old ones, but anytime you get somebody who's known for being, just the straight man in that comedic situation.
Yeah, I will say, Liam Neeson, I think, is like a perfect replacement for Leslie Nielsen in that situation, because he is also the serious actor turned, comedic in his... Yeah, it works.
Exactly.
I mean, and also, like, they basically have the same name. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have dyslexia,
sure
it actually
that was
is.
an element.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Although it'll probably be after STOV before I get a chance to go to that.
Yeah.
Well, of the three that we've mentioned, I think that's the one that probably is least requires the big screen to be impactful.
There's also that, yeah.
It's going to be the same experience.
Superman and
on
Fantastic
TV.
Four are both, yes, excellent on the big screen. Yeah, and friend of the podcast, Alex Perry, told me as soon as he saw it with Fantastic Four, he's like, "This is a Star Trek movie." I'm like, I'm not sure if I would go quite that far, but I say it is a very good movie. It does have some of that. Yeah.
Okay.
And listeners, if you're I started to say listeners, if you're listening to us, I hope you are. If you are interested in Marvel, but you have not been religiously keeping up with the MCU, Fantastic Four is an excellent movie to go see because it does not, in fact, require you to know anything else about the MCU to see it.
There you go.
Nice.
And Pedro Pascal was awesome as always.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Pedro Pascal. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. So, who's playing the alien?
It's the same woman that played the bartender.
Oh, that makes sense.
She's great.
I only know that because of I think I read it in the Trek Core article. So, again, thank you, friend of the show, Alex Perry. But
nice.
Because she's very familiar, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I recognize that, but yeah. And that's it. Yeah, that's it exactly. Yeah. Well,
which makes sense if they're pulling from the crew for the holodeck.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they invite her to come on to the ship, and she's like, okay. And so she'd be newer on the manifest. The computer might pull from it.
We should talk about the moral implications of all of that at some point here.
So much so. Yeah, Barkley will show up in a second.
Yeah.
So it's less of a concern than with Barkley because
yes.
Yeah.
The characters are not supposed to be them. It's just using theirs. But yes, there are. I sure hope there were consent forms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like there probably were.
Yeah.
You know. It was probably a standard every time you go through a transporter, you automatically agree to this, but you know.
Yeah. Terms and conditions.
The whole thing with the. I love, we have the ship shake, we have those ridiculous levers that Ortega's character is using, yeah. And then that intro.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Complete with Maxwell Saint's name being bigger than everyone else's, just like William Shatner's.
Yeah.
Gotta have that.
Yeah, it's... Alright, so we're testing out the holodeck, and it's... I don't have an issue with the timeline of them using a holodeck here, but there are some people that did, so let's get into that a little bit here.
Yeah.
They establish it contextually as this is a continuation of what we saw in Discovery of the battle simulators, which people complained about then because it was a holodeck.
Yep.
You know, and we know there were holodecks on TAS. And yes, they made a whole big thing of it, you know, in The Big Goodbye, but that could be just, it's now, these things could have existed and not been standard yet on all the ships.
Right.
And they could have existed and not been as good.
Right, and I got that impression. And this is definitely, yes, it's the AI part. It's all the people that act like people.
Yeah.
That is the big deal. And that's like it is in TNG. And that's what made the TNG holodeck so good. And at the end, when they say it could work if we give it its own separate established power system, and it's like, and that's exactly how they do it on the later shows. So, yeah.
Yep. Well, I remember when the trailer came out and everyone's losing their minds. They're like, is it a holodeck? Because that doesn't do this. It's like, you can understand maybe they're establishing something that went horribly wrong to the point that they did shelve it until we get to TNG. And that's exactly what you'd end up with. So they kind of are just filling in these gaps and holes, and people get a little touchy about it when it's first established. But it's like, just trust the process. You know the people who are a part of the show. You know the people who are directing it. We know the people who, are on it. they aren't going to let it fall through the cracks. Like, they care about this. It's an established season 3 episode.
It wouldn't be a Star Trek trailer if it didn't annoy people with no imagination about how it's going to fit into canon.
Yep.
I mean, even I had my doubts about the musical, but
that ended up being
worked.
one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, me too. And I will always come back to that as somebody who trusts the process and who was like, oh, I don't know about this, but I was proven wrong. So trust the process.
I do know some people who hated that too, but that's, you know.
Oh, there
will always.
Those people don't like fun.
One thing that I tell everyone who doesn't like the musical episode is they're boldly explorational. Mm-hmm. That alone seals the episode.
Yes.
They wrote it into a song.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Crew of the
Enterprise. Beautiful.
Yep.
So yeah, the whole plot of this episode, La'an's going to be testing out the holodeck. La'an and Spock are still doing their dancing lessons.
Mm-hmm. And he's replaced calisthenics with dancing, which is actually, I know a lot of people who say that dance is good exercise. So,
I mean, it makes sense. You're moving a lot.
Yeah.
And you're using a lot of your brain too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're using other parts of their bodies as well.
Well,
yeah.
Of course. Later.
I don't know. Even in that first dancing scene at the end there, they definitely come extremely close to where their faces are right next to each other and both breathing heavily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good for Spock. Good for La'an.
I have to admit, I hadn't even considered the idea of Spock and La'an until, well, actually, it was the first time they danced in earlier this season. But it's like, honestly, that works so much better than Spock and Chapel.
Yeah. It makes me worry.
Well,
because
yes.
I see it every time. Like, when Spock gets close to someone, I'm just like, if they aren't in TOS, what happened?
Yeah, and, there's going to be the people who are the same people who were complaining about, Kirk should have, they can't have a Noonien sing on there because Kirk didn't know who Khan was or didn't remember. And, now we're going to be like, okay, so in, I lost the name of the episode. We introduce Khan.
Space Seed?
Space Seed?
Space Seed, thank you. I need more coffee this morning, apparently. Okay, so then there's going to be people who say, like, in Space Seed, Spock should have been like, oh, yeah, I know your great, whatever granddaughter very well.
Yeah. Could you imagine if that's how the episode went down? He's like, oh, yeah, I kissed your great granddaughter.
So now people are going to be complaining about that. And my response to that is, you know what? It can happen, and people don't have to talk about everything that ever happened to themselves in context.
Especially to random people that they just woke up on a spaceship.
And Spock is well known for not talking about his thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of Spock in a relationship, Amok Time takes place in 2267.
Mm-hmm.
Season 3 of Strange New Worlds takes place in 2261. Did Spock have Pon farr last season and we just didn't get an episode about it?
I wouldn't be shocked. They just, straight up skipped it.
Well, no, Amok Time says that he says that's the first time it's happened.
Does he?
I think so, because he was saying he was hoping his human biology would prevent it. But we have established that, much as the joke was before that Vulcans only have sex once every 7 years, we've established that that's not the case.
Yeah, no, just because they have to have sex every 7 years doesn't mean they can't other times.
Yeah.
But, in Star Trek 3, that Spock was younger than... appeared younger
but
than
protomatter and, other stuff.
Things.
Maybe it manifests differently.
Could be.
Maybe
environmental factors.
Yeah, and I mean, we do know that maybe it manifested in context of the engagement, you know. So if the Ponfar is anticipated, it wouldn't have as much effect.
Well, yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. So
The Ponfar would have hit that during that week when he was a human.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
okay, I was thinking more he and T'Pring had some sex, and so it didn't actually
Had some sex.
attack him in the way that came out sounding really weird. I didn't mean it like that, but just some, not all, right?
Just
That's
go
it,
down to the
yeah.
store for some sex. I mean,
What I mean is the celebration of their engagement anticipated the Ponfar, therefore he didn't have the crazy side effects.
Oh, that
There you
could be.
go.
Yeah.
We have multiple avenues out of this situation.
Mm-hmm. mm-hmm. Or just those. Depending on how the relationship with La'an goes, it could be a Ponfar dry spell. Maybe he doesn't have any relationships after La'an. Yeah.
Could be.
That sounds a little incelly, though, so let's not have that be the case.
Yeah. I mean,
Now that I've heard myself say that, yeah.
I mean, it is kind of heavily implied in TOS that he doesn't normally get around.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Because it makes the handful of times that he does more,
They like stand out.
Yeah.
I think by the time we get to the end of Strange New Worlds, we are going to see we're going to see a Spock who has decided to be more Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And who has decided to put aside the humanness for a while. And we see breakthroughs of that in his personality across TOS and through the movies. But, this is his experimenting with those things.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to decide that. So I think it still tracks. I don't think it messes with the timeline.
Yeah, no, I don't even.
Yeah.
I
I
think
know you don't. I just.
Plus, I mean, if I were Spock, I would want to date La'an. So
I'm amazed anything gets done on that ship with all those beautiful people. Really,
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
it's just. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when season 2 came out. I remember someone made a meme. It's like the new season of Star Trek Bisexual Thirst Trap is airing next week.
Oh gosh.
That is good.
All right, so we're gonna go to the holodeck, and when Lon walks in, Spock is already there.
Mm-hmm.
Did either of you call that Spock was not real at that scene?
Nope.
Not in that scene. No.
Not in that scene
I mean,
either.
They did that beautifully.
Going back, I could think.
Yeah, I did pick up on it before La'an did.
Yes. No, because
Okay,
what point did you guys pick up on it? Because everyone had that realization at different times in the theater.
Honestly, it was when she brought him in. Honestly, as
When
like
she brought
the
him
assistant.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't get it until she figured it out.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I know.
Like a couple moments
I
before.
did not
Yeah.
put 2 and 2 together and realize he was the murderer, though. That
was
Yeah.
pretty impressive. No, because the way Ethan did this part, and I'm wondering how much of it was his decision, how much of it was Frakes directing, and how much of it was a combo, really. But he added a special kind of stiffness to the way he walked. And that was what triggered it for me. Because I was like, he walked into that room not looking like he walks into the other rooms. And I don't know what part of my brain said that was it, but...
He seemed a little more Vulcan-y than usual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which could be the computer being like, his genetics, the Vulcanness would take over, makes sense. And like, in this phase of his life, he's still leaning more human, so...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that we have the classic black background with the yellow grid.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I always, like, I realize that all the holodecks, holo suites, holo whatever's rooms don't have to have that, but I always felt like that was missing on DS9.
Yes.
As Voyager, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it just,
that's
it
right.
adds-
It was blue on Voyager, yeah.
It was like silver on
silvery
Voyager.
blue, and they had
Yeah.
like the occasional grid. It was, it just, you walk into that and you know you're in a holodeck sort of thing. You aren't in a storage room, you aren't in a cargo bay, you're in a holodeck. So.
Yeah. I like how we get what is essentially a female Dixon Hill.
Yes.
That we go back to that, the mid-century murder mysteries. And it's just fun.
Yes.
And that hat is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and she's such a good character to have put on the holodeck, because everyone else kind of has this part of their personality that shows through in different aspects. They have their own little things. For Lon, she's just kind of like, she's tough and she likes Kirk. It's like, all right, let's expand on her. Let's add some to her, and they did a good job with that in this episode.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that there's 112 Amelia Moon novels.
Yeah. It's like Magic Treehouse books. They just kept putting them out.
Think more along the lines of...
like Hardy Boys?
Okay, see, everybody is taking this as a child.
It's not,
series.
no. I was just thinking...
Yeah.
That's just
I was
the ones that
thinking
they
there's a
pop
ton
out
of
the
Hardy
most.
Boys novels,
Yeah,
was my thought.
Well, I mean, yeah, or Boxcar Children, or, any
Oh,
number of
the
other.
Boxcar Children, yeah!
I was all about the Boxcar Children when I was a kid.
Who of our generation did not want to go live in a boxcar and keep milk under a fountain to keep it cold and, yeah. Eat chunks of
Honestly,
cheese.
I remember reading that thinking, that's not actually going to keep that milk cold.
Yeah.
Me too. Especially in the middle of summer when it's cherry
Yeah.
season. Yeah, that's, but
But I have to admit, the first time I read those books, and I knew there's this whole series, I was a little disappointed when I got to the end of the first book, and they move into the grandfather's house. I'm like, oh, they're not in the boxcar for the rest of the books?
except when they are.
Yeah.
Because the rich grandfather goes and finds it, and
Yeah.
anyway. No, I was thinking more along the lines of Sue Grafton, has all of those letter books, and admittedly there's 121 of them, or 112 of them, but the Janet Ivanovich, Stephanie Plum novels, Ellis Peters, and all of those ancient
Agatha Christie
Egypt.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Agatha
Yeah.
Christie did write a ton of books. That's true.
Yeah. And if you think about it, this is how many, assuming that these were written at the time,
Mhm.
and that this isn't being written as historical fiction later, it's entirely possible that half or more of those are not by the original author.
Yeah.
Again, a la Boxcar Children.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, these would have been probably in magazines too. These would have been stories in detective story magazine compilations and stuff.
Yeah.
Benny Russell
love
might
it,
have ghostwritten some of these.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Yep. Benny Russell might have ghostwritten. Well, no, because this isn't one of their stories. Never mind. Anyway.
Yeah, and we have a very elementary Dear Data situation where the computer is creating a story that will challenge La'an.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to put that in the outline with the whole strike through on the can defeat Data, because it just was so. And I don't have a problem with that.
But it's the same mistake. She should have said, we'll challenge Amelia Moon.
Yes.
Just like Geordi should have said, can defeat Holmes.
Yes.
I mean, thankfully, a holographic Spock is a little less of a problem than holographic Moriarty, but still.
I just hope, it's a
sociopath.
subtle message, but I hope that viewers pick up on it. Is that, be careful with AI.
Yeah.
Because it can go wrong very quickly. And, there's a great example of, I don't use AI. I, the environmental impacts and stuff, I don't use it.
Good, yeah.
I prefer finding things out and doing research because I'm a scientist. That's my own thing. I don't take things at face value. But I was like, okay, I need to learn CAD. I need to learn how to 3D model. I don't have time before STLV. Let me see if I can ask this thing to create an STL file for a Captain Proton jetpack. And just see if it's a simple shape. It's a rectangle with tubes. And so I put in very clear instructions. And I was like, this is this. And I was like, can you send me a mock-up? 2 days later, it sends me a mock-up. I'm like, that's it. Let's do this. And it took forever to send it. It took like a week. And finally I get it. And it's like, here's your file. And the files were empty. They didn't have anything in it. I was like, where's the file? He goes, or the AI was just like, oh, you told me to design it. You didn't tell me to make it into an actual file. I'm like,
yeah.
What? It was implied. I told you to make an STL file. So,
yeah, and there's so many situations like this because it's not actually doing what you ask for it. It's simulating a conversation based on that it thinks it should say when you ask it things.
Yep, exactly. And so that's why when I watch this episode, I'm just like, oh my gosh, yeah, that just happened to me. So after that, I was like, and I'm running all this in like an incognito window. I'm like, I'm not going to give it any information, nothing. I'm like, glad I didn't delete everything. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been my experience has been mostly, it just doesn't work very well.
No, exactly. All the people who are like saying, "Oh, it works great." It's like you could get the same by typing it into a search engine and clicking the first link, and then you actually have a human that told you what happened.
Like the one thing that I have used it for that it has worked fairly well for is I have no idea what this Excel formula is doing. Can you tell me what it does? That sort of thing.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. That's something, one of those things where it's like, okay, it's a basic answer that cannot be, like, interpreted separately or, like, construed or anything. Like, here's the prompt, here's the answer. So.
Yeah, I've used it twice. 2 times that I could not think of a word. I could think of the description of the word, but I could not think of the word. And that's it. So I said, what are the words that mean this? And then it's like, okay. That's asking the enterprise computer for information. Too many people think that AI is data. Okay. Yeah. It's not.
Yes.
And it's not going to be.
Yeah. And think about how many TNG episodes they have to get the right answer from the computer after asking like 50 different questions phrased slightly differently. And that's exactly the situation.
I can tell you from grading, AI is not giving correct information.
Yeah.
And it is making up sources now. This is something I had heard some of my colleagues talking about, but I did not encounter it until this semester with some of the papers I've been dealing with. It will present perfectly formatted citations, perfectly formatted bibliographical entries that when you put them in a search engine don't exist. And some of them are really good because it'll find an author that has that has publications on similar material, but just nothing with that title, or it attributes it to a journal that doesn't exist or a journal issue that it isn't in, and it's bad.
Yeah, and again, it's because it's giving you an answer that it's based entirely on like formulating an answer based on how it thinks a conversation should go, not based on actually giving you like results. Yeah, so yes, we meet all of the people. We find out that Uhura is the agent, and she's amazing.
Celia's just incredible. I of the cast and like the people that I've met from the cast, Ethan and Celia are just like the most genuine, beautiful human beings. Cool. I adore them. And so anytime Celia's on the screen, I'm just like, okay, I'm sat. Let me just watch.
Her wandering around looking for a light for the cigarette. She's got the cigarette the whole time. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's one thing that is not true to the era. There would be lighters, matches, something
everywhere,
all over the place. Yeah. So but it worked in context. So.
Well, I appreciated being able to see the cast both in the holodeck context and then just outside the holodeck.
Yeah.
Because I swear Uhura and Scotty, I might be jumping the gun here a little bit, but oh my gosh, I love their chemistry. It's so good.
That's, the whole thing about Scotty being flustered, but really being sure he can make it right. And, and how that comes back at the end is beautiful.
Now, I love the character designs on the holodeck and how it puts certain, like, people from the ship into certain roles. And, like, Anson does with Pike, he's so, like, fun and, like, haha. And then, especially, was it the Renaissance episode? And then now this one,
he plays the coward.
Exactly, this pathetic little weasel. I'm just like, all right, acting chops there.
And I love his Isaac Asimov hair.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, I mean, I think Una really like shined in this episode. Like, it just especially within the context of the holodeck. Apparently, what was it? Oh, they were talking about the scene where she dies. This was in Hall H. They had the cast out after the screening. And they said that when she dies, they had to keep doing takes. And they just got progressively longer and more drawn out and longer. And she's like, I was milking this. And apparently that shot where they all come running over to look over the body, they could not, like, get it. Like, they kept, like, breaking. And so Frakes hid in a tree on set. And was like making sure, and they got one shot, or they got one take, and he was just like, "You guys are doing great." From the tree, it's like, oh, that's hilarious. So funny.
Hidden, I love that. Hidden a tree. Yep.
That's so Frakes.
Yeah, it is. I can totally see him having the thought process of, okay, this is I'm distracting them because that's making it less. There's less realism if you have somebody directing you. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I would love to see Frakes, maybe at like a convention or something, put on just a little stage play with you pull in a couple fans and just have him direct normal people. And I want to see his directing process in action. I think that'd be a really cool, like, interactive panel.
I love that idea.
I need to send emails out.
On the cruise, they always do a live reading of a Star Trek episode where they have different actors doing different roles, and they'll have someone doing the directing. Interestingly, Frakes has never done that one as the director. He should, though. Yeah.
Does he go on the cruise?
Yeah, frequently.
Okay.
Honestly, if I were one of the actors, I'd be like, oh yeah, sign me up every single year. I'll keep it clear on my schedule.
Well, I think a lot of them will absolutely go, but, they can only bring so many at a time.
True. You can make half the ship guests and then half the ship actors. Make it a great time.
Yeah, it doesn't... But they would have to really increase the price if they did that.
Yeah, true.
And it already costs a lot of money.
Yes. Oh.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friggin' Paul Wesley as the Shatner equivalent with the canceled, we're a hit. Oh, ratings.
Yeah.
Then in what way were you a hit?
That's what I'm wondering. Because I'm like, what did that mean? And I'm thinking I'm missing a joke somewhere, but if you didn't get it either, then I feel better.
I'm willing to bet it was like, we're a hit in that, like, people come up to them and talk to them about it, and, like, viewers talk. It's like the Rotten Tomatoes score versus the critics scores.
Yeah. Okay.
And the look that Jess Bush gives him when he says that.
That was beautiful.
You could tell they were having fun with it, which I think made the holodeck seem a little bit more like realistic as far as storytelling goes, is because they were being goofy and having fun. Like, it was a story.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I do really appreciate. I do really like that Una's character is protesting her innocence the moment that she dies.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess she's not the killer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That makes it easy. Yeah. I did like how they had this thing where she's a Lucille Ball surrogate, basically. You know,
Yes.
this is, you have a woman who's not known for this particular genre, and yet is backing it very seriously because of what it is, and I love that. Bellows is obviously supposed to be a Roddenberry surrogate, but I think he was a little too, I don't know, he didn't strike me as the way we saw Roddenberry like act around people.
Right.
Yeah, what little we did, I guess, which was and he knows he's on camera at that point, so
Yeah.
this might have been written by people who know better.
Yeah, there were two theories that I had with that. Is one, it was written by people who actually knew more about the situation than I do. Or two, they kind of separated it to detach this episode to be like, hey, yeah, no, it's not directly the story of Star Trek.
Yeah, and I think that's the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did like that.
Yeah.
That setup, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will say the one thing I wish that they had more of was Babs. And Benga.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yes.
He didn't really get to do much in the episode, but, I mean, maybe he had other projects that week or something, or they were just like, hey, we had heavier Babs before, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's that was good. I loved the look of all of it. It was very, just fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and here's where we're starting to have problems, and as usual, the holodeck is not working correctly.
No,
Yep.
Why would it do that?
If this episode wasn't tropey enough, holodeck goes wrong.
It reminds me of that DS9 episode. I think it's Way of the Warrior, when Worf and O'Brien are talking about how differences between DS9 and the Enterprise, and
Oh yeah,
it's like it feels like we could do everything on the Enterprise, and O'Brien's like, except keep the holodecks running.
yeah,
Yep.
yep,
Which was true.
very true.
Yeah, so yes, there's the holodeck is now using all of the computer's power. It cannot they can't do anything on the computer. They can't shut down the holodeck. Of course, as always. And hey, guess what? The holodeck safeties aren't working.
Yep.
Womp womp.
My theory is that there aren't actually any holodeck safeties.
They might not have thought it through at that point.
No. I don't think they ever exist. It's just
Never,
something that people talk about because at any time holodeck safeties are ever mentioned, it's to point out that they're not working.
Very true.
Holodeck safeties are tied into the warp core ejection system, and they're like the ice cream machine at McDonald's. Most of the time when you need it, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw, I can't remember if it was like a Reddit thread or Reddit post or a something somewhere else on social media talking about how does the holodeck safety know that it's okay to let O'Brien dislocate his shoulder, but not let him fall down a mountain and kill himself with it.
Exactly.
Well, the holodeck can't control whether he dislocates his shoulder while rowing.
Well, but the idea was being, what level of danger is okay.
Right, yeah.
It's okay that you can be injured but not killed. Obviously, that's not controlling the dislocating the shoulder.
I think the idea is the holodeck is not supposed to give you a situation that will definitely hurt you.
Okay.
There are people can be hurt doing anything.
Quite true.
Yeah.
I mean, ask me how many times I've walked around with my head like this because I slept weird. I mean,
okay, point taken. It was, yeah. But yeah, holodeck safety seemed to be a joke.
Yes.
I did
also,
love
does the holodeck... Well, no, that was the TNG holodeck. Do the holodecks in DS9 even have safeties? I guess they do talk about them.
Yeah.
I,
They
well,
have
he
to.
dislocated his shoulder in both places,
They
well,
have
he
to.
dislocated his shoulder in both places, so.
He did.
Quark doesn't want to have to deal with a lawsuit, so I'm sure he has some.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Yeah, actually, that's a point. Quark's holodeck safeties probably work.
Yeah.
Except in Armin Bashir.
True. Yeah,
Okay,
our man
yeah.
Bashir.
Okay.
But that was a special circumstance where every piece of memory on the computer was used up by the brain patterns of the people from the shuttle. So, that's a whole other thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's different. He probably has functioning holodeck safeties and then charges people more to have them turned off.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, yeah, because Warp is going
And
to
you
turn
have
him
to
off
sign a
for his,
waiver.
for his Calisthenics program and stuff.
Probably, yeah. And Dax, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I loved that, when Sonny Lupino dies and the Kirk character asks, "Is she dead?" And the Ortega's character, I'm an actor, not a doctor, right?
That was a good joke
That was
tie-in.
beautiful.
Fun fact, there was a insurance commercial that DeForest Kelley did in like the 80s or 90s where he uses that exact line.
Yes. No, that was
Nice.
because my friend literally sent it to me. Patrick, he sent it was a Trivial Pursuit commercial.
That's it. True. You're right. It
Literally
wasn't insurance.
yesterday.
Trivial Pursuit.
That is
That's
crazy
right.
you brought
You're
that
right.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because they're like, oh yeah, what are the chambers of the hearts? And he's like, I'm an actor, not a doctor. Oh,
Yeah, Trivial Pursuit's 10th anniversary edition, 92.
Okay.
wow.
Oh my god, according to Google.
It had its 10th anniversary before I was even born. How fun.
You just made us
Apparently,
go
Trivial Pursuit is exactly the same age I am. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I was alive for the 10th anniversary, but not for its inception.
Yeah. Do holographic cigarettes give you lung cancer? That's the question.
Ah.
I like how the Spock has that line about cigarettes.
Yeah.
It would be unwise to smoke in this era, or any era. Or in the holodeck or anywhere.
Oh,
but-
smoke in
good-
an enclosed space, yeah.
They have some good, reference, or good one-liners that they just kind of slid into this episode.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yeah, it would be unwise to smoke in the confines of the holodeck. Or at
That's
all.
it, yeah.
yeah.
It was the or at all that got me. It's like, that's great. It's true.
Okay, but people do, people do smoke in this time period because there were no smoking signs in the bridge simulator in Star Trek 2.
Yes, there were.
Maybe it came back. It was like a trend.
That's honestly one of my favorite things of people not being able to anticipate the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That in the 80s, it seemed so implausible that public smoking indoors would not be still be a thing in hundreds of years, much less like 20.
Yeah. And also that you could smoke on a spacecraft.
Yeah.
Well, technically, that's not the spacecraft. It's the. Are they actually? They're
Oh,
not
it's a
actually
simulator.
on the space. They're on a simulator. I think they're on Earth,
Okay.
aren't they? Because
In the simulator, they're at the
yeah.
academy, but
Yeah.
Still.
I was thinking, isn't it also on the bridge?
No, there is not on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Okay.
It's only in
Well-
the simulator, and that was because someone was like, we shouldn't have no smoking signs. There shouldn't be smoking in the future. Someone actually did catch that,
There
and
you
that's
go.
why they're only in the simulator. But
Okay. See, my thought process with that is if you can cure lung cancer or any
Right.
cancer by waving a light over it, then you can really do all sorts of damaging things to yourself.
yeah, but you still shouldn't smoke indoors. That's just like,
I'm not.
regardless,
Perhaps the etiquette
like,
overall changed.
the etiquette, then it becomes a politeness thing. Like, could you imagine? Like, yeah.
I can imagine
Yeah.
because I lived with it for
Oh,
my
yeah, same.
whole childhood. So, I mean, like, to me, I don't even think twice about it.
Yeah.
Not that I know a lot of people who smoke anymore, but
So, like, I lived with it when I was a kid, but, like, because of how quickly and drastically society changed on that one, like, it's still, like, when I watch a movie or TV show from the 80s or 90s. I'm like, oh shit, they're smoking in the restaurant. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say this as I'm
Yeah.
about to spend a week in Las Vegas where there will be just a pervasive haze of cigarette smoke. But
It wasn't honestly that bad last year.
yeah,
That's what I'm really glad about, because with migraines and stuff, it gets tricky. I'm still going to wear masks and stuff, but it
and
helps.
apparently the Masquerade bar is now a no smoking area.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, yes, our characters solving a murder mystery.
Yeah. Which, honestly, it was very, like, tricky to find out until the Spock thing hit me. Especially, like, in the scene where you have, like, when Spock gets shot.
Yeah.
That's when it really kind of set it. I'm like, oh. So, Ethan
Yeah, I
definitely
had
sold
no
it.
idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew
had-
that he was holographic Spock. I did not know he was holographic Spock, the murderer.
Yeah. No, and I mean, good for Lon to like catch on to that, and like the reveal scene, that whole scene, I really appreciated the acting that went on in it.
I was
Especially-
half expecting her to need to incapacitate him to end the program, and not just...
Right. Well, that was also a nice
Revealing,
change
yeah.
from a change of pace. It's not you don't have to defeat the person by killing them or any of it. It's just you say, "Oh, it was you. Congratulations, you won the game." Like that was a nice change of pace, and it shows the early evolution of the holodeck, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that. That's true. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah, so... We do learn that Spock is the issue. She accuses Spock. The program ends, and the ship is saved.
hmm
And now Una has to chew out Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that wonderful scene where he's looking around the corner at Uhura.
He's just like, "Help, help."
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate that Una, while, yes, dressing him down, is also mostly upset that he didn't ask for help. That he didn't...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and like
Yeah.
this episode, it comes at a good time for me because I literally, like, the past few months, 2.5 years, kind of just been like, okay, I have to do this on my own because otherwise, like, something will go wrong. And that's a part of, like, learned and, like, experiential, and then also predicting and reinforcement through prediction. And so it's like, okay, that's a good little reminder. Universe, thanks for timing this when you did. Like, yeah, no, don't be afraid to ask for help, which, you know, you hear in different contexts and in different situations all the time when it comes to, like, mental health or it comes to physical health or anything. And this, in terms of, like, just asking for assistance, is another good little reminder.
Yeah. But his reasoning is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That he's
it
been
is.
blaming himself. I just, yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Scotty.
hmm hmm
Yeah, and we have a recurring theme, I think, this season of Una having to tell people that they're not making the best decisions. Which, I mean, really, she's doing what the executive officer is supposed to be doing, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. She's handling the crew issues.
Yep. And Pike is saying, let's shelve the holodeck and never touch it again.
I love
like,
the sassiness in that comment.
yeah. Scotty's like, well, we can say that it's okay with a dedicated power source. It's like, yes, in a footnote, in very small font.
Yes. Like that was funny. I think that's probably my number 2 moment of the episode is that whole exchange of like, never speak of it again. Like, number 1 though, still I can't believe how they saved everything for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is so good.
And Spock, La'an and real Spock are...
I didn't see that coming. Like, there were hints that like, especially at the beginning of the episode, but I was just like, when they finally got to that scene, I'm like, oh, they're gonna do this.
Like, I saw the chemistry starting with episode 2, honestly, when they were first dancing.
Yeah.
For the wedding. But yeah, no, this is gonna happen. And no, I like it. I think they work well together. Even if, yes, it does perhaps mean that La'an's days are numbered.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be that way. I don't think she's going to die.
I hope it isn't, but I'm also terrified that it is.
Well,
because it opened a door of possibility that we may or may not walk through.
But it could just as easily be Spock saying, "Okay, I'm not going to have relationships with humans anymore," and or like she gets depending on how serious it gets, she gets like a job teaching security training at the academy, and they decide to just go, "Okay, well, you're going to be over there and I'm going to be over here." So fingers crossed. I don't want to see her gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless it is like Wrath of Khan style, saving everybody else on the ship and that kind of thing.
And then we get the blooper reel, which we have to show because we need the real credits since we had the fake credits in the beginning.
I loved that. Everyone was losing their minds.
Oh yeah.
And because it's reminiscent of like Pixar movies where they had the scripted bloopers. Gosh, we need more bloopers.
And the moment that Paul Wesley tries to Riker the really tall chair, and it falls apart. Can someone fix the chair, please?
It can't work like this. Did you notice it had a cup holder?
Yes, it does.
Nice. Oh gosh.
Which the real Kirk could have used because he sets a styrofoam coffee cup on the arm of his chair all the time.
Yeah.
I like how the way it falls apart, you can see that it's just a regular chair with it built around it, which is exactly how the captain's chair on TOS was.
Yep. Yep, it's just an office chair.
It was great. It's the little details.
And the doors that don't quite work, and
and the alien trying to scramble out of the view screen. So good.
Only alien on the top half.
Well, that's all you need.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just sit down and work it out. Have we seen more of Kirk not as Kirk than we have, or more of Paul Wesley as not Kirk than we have as Kirk?
All right, so we've got that's the season 1 episode, the finale of season 1. We have tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay,
right.
We have this one. Did we have another not as Kirk episode?
No, that's it.
Okay, so we've had 3 alternate Kirks.
Right.
And then in season 2, did we get 2? I think we got 2 episodes of real Kirk.
Subspace Rhapsody, and we got
the one with Uhura and the space station.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not counting the subspace call at the end of Tomorrow and Tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had 2 there, and then this season has
first time we've seen him this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
so far we have had alternate or fictional Kirk more often than real Kirk.
Well, it'll be interesting too because at the panel they were talking about how they would love to carry this into year 1 of Enterprise, of like the actual Enterprise crew that we know.
TOS,
and have a continuation the first year as like a spin-off of the spin-off of Discovery. So it's like that'd be really fun to see, and you could cover some stuff. Strange New Worlds has proven that you can do prequels to just fill in context. You don't have to rewrite stuff. And you can play within the playground that you're put in and do it very well by introducing new characters with the old ones. So, like, we know Uhura's not going to die, but you also bounce it out with a couple of other characters that we don't see, and you're like, okay, there's still high stakes. So I'd love to see them continue that with Enterprise Year 1. Which they said to do a letter writing campaign. So, might have to buy some paper and stamps.
With real money. There's scripts of stuff that they never did for TOS. Long-time listeners of this show will forgive me for again saying I would like to see Portrait in black and white. I think it's even more, maybe not more relevant now than it would have been in 1968, but...
Be good.
Let's see it. Yeah, and they could grab, like, there's TOS novels that if they wanted to, they could grab.
Plus, they could just do original stories, too.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I'm not saying they couldn't do that. I just
but if they wanted to, like, tie more into the fabric of... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they could, like, figure out prequels to, like, TNG stories and stuff, too, which...
Yeah!
Like, the reverse of... Yeah.
I like it.
And people would eat it up. That's the thing. We love the overall acceptance of these new, like, Paul Wesley, like, all the actors who are playing these iconic characters have been so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, there are people who don't like them, but yes.
Yeah, but, like, compared to, like, the normal of, like, oh, here's a holodeck episode, and the boos, to the, hey, here's Selly, and she's a Hura. It's quieter boos. So it's like, I think they could get away with it.
Yeah.
If we were on Trek FM, I think Quieter Booze would be the name of this episode.
It would
yeah. It's so true.
All right. Is there anything else about this week's episode that either of you want to cover?
Oh, it's just that I love the humor. Star Trek has a way of taking itself too seriously from time to time, but you find writers who find ways to write in one or two jokes an episode that really stick with you. And it's nice to see that they're continuing that it can be serious, it can be life or death, but we can also still have fun. Because no one wants to tune into a TV show that makes you feel bad about yourself, not have fun, and stuff like that. It's like, you gotta have some humor in it, and they have that down. So it's so good to see that, especially in season 3, knowing there's still future seasons. Like, they're already fully in their stride, so they're set. You don't have to worry about that. And this episode really does reinforce that, along with the preview of the Muppet episode.
We kind of glossed over it, but and that's funny because the character's name is Gloss. But the speech that we get about how this little show that looks so strange could give inspiration to millions in the future and can be a safe space for people in the future. And I love that was in the episode they showed at Comic-Con because of how that, all of that coming together like that, and just, it's beautiful.
Well, and there were some people from Paramount in the audience. And so I think it really hit, hopefully, that, like, you have packed Hall H. You have these people laughing and going, oh, and when Spock kisses on, you're just like, ooh, like the audible reactions to let them know, like, yeah, what they said in the episode
keeps us up.
That's real life.
Yeah. Well, hopefully now that they have money to function again, we'll know what's going to be happening with Trek.
Well, and so many shows getting axed and whatnot. It's like, all right, hey, Star Trek, we're the golden child. We've literally, you make an $80 to $120 price range cosplay for all of your shows, you will be flush with cash. Specifically $100 bills this time. But it's like, just give us the freaking cosplays.
It's
I'm not
astonishing the merchandising opportunities that are not followed through on. I mean, in a different time and place, a set of action figures for The Last Frontier could have been released.
Yes.
Yesterday, day before, the day, and charge $50-$70 for it. People bought it.
Yeah.
Why not do that? I
want to see a metamorphosis of the fandom for the better over this merger, because there's ways that it could be worse, but I think the fandom can drive it more towards the right side.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's hope.
I have been the whole time optimistic that the merger will be overall good for Star Trek, and I still think that's the case.
I do too. I'm not sure about the political climate allowing.
Right. There is that.
What they want to do. And that's what I'm more worried about.
I think it might force
the whole
subtlety.
Point of Trek. Right. It will force subtlety. It's the whole point of Trek was to show these issues with people in rubber masks.
Yeah.
And, maybe we have to go back to that. That's all right. Yet another reason why portrait in black and white.
So long as it exists. people can always go back throughout time and with knowledge of being in the future and go back and rewatch and be like, oh yeah, this is what they were doing with that episode. And at the time, it wasn't as obvious. It's like, retrospect, I'm fine as long as the lesson still lives.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not fine with the episode retrospect.
Yeah.
That lesson should not live.
That one, yeah. Oh,
well, they all can't be $100 bills.
Chrissie, where can people find you when you're struggling to walk through a door? When you're not struggling to walk through a door, I should say.
Both, either. All right, well, in addition to here on Infinite Diversity, you can find me on History with the Szilagys here on the BQN. That's that twice-weekly short history podcast I do with my fellow historian partner, Jason. I'm also happy to chat about our shows on the BQN Collective on Facebook and in the Discord. And I'm on the various socials as the Goddess Livia, that's TheGoddessLivia, where you can see my opinions about Star Trek history and leftist politics. Thad, where can people find you when you're not trying to figure out if the line is human pies or human piles?
You can hear me on the podcast I do with my friend Carl called Licensed Spiel. That's licensed spelled with a C like the British do it. Where we started out talking about James Bond and then moved on to other things and are now currently on Columbo. You can find links to all of my podcasts and socials on my website, tyrannicus.net. That's tyranicus.net. I forgot to ask Katie where people can find her. I should have started with that.
Oh dear.
That's fine. I'm easy enough to find no matter where you look. I just pop up. I'm like Beetlejuice. You say weather 3 times and here I am. Speaking of which, you can find me at weather_Katie on all the social medias and so many random fandoms on YouTube and at most Midwest Comic-Cons. As I found out at San Diego, I was recognized every single day by someone who was a viewer or who has run into me at other Comic-Cons. And it was because of my voice. I didn't realize my voice, because I was talking with my friend. I was like, is my voice really like that bad? He goes, no, it's kind of like Fran Drescher and the Nanny. It's just unique. I'm like, what? Fran Drescher, what?
You do not have a Fran Drescher voice.
No, you don't have a Fran Drescher voice, but you do have a fairly distinctive voice.
It's unique, yeah. Well, and like the way I talk and project, I have like a weird mix of Michigan accent, which apparently is real. I have some Scottish.
Oh, it is.
I like to blame Jenny R. Johnson for having a little Canadian thrown in in the Fred group. So it's like, I'm just a wee bit of a mix of everything.
Oh, and listeners, also, if you're listening to this podcast when it comes out this week, you can find me walking around and watching panels and experiencing Star Trek Las Vegas. Or, I'm sorry, STOV.
Yes.
Yeah, Trek to Vegas.
Yes.
For legal reasons.
Yes. All right. Well, then, don't forget about all of our other great shows here on the BQN. And here's a recording of Amy to tell you all about them.
What shows are on BQN, you ask? Well, here's a rundown of some podcasts you might be interested in. All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast covering all of Trek, hosted by Amy, Christos, Kelvin, and Kristen. Whether you've got Xbox or Nintendo, check out Bargain Bin Gamer, a YouTube show hosted by Davey and Mitch, self-proclaimed gamers who specializes in reviewing and showcasing affordable video games. Grab your popcorn as you listen to Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast showcasing films you probably missed but should definitely check out, hosted by Mark and Matt. Don your apron for The Food Replicator, where Matthew eats and drinks his way through Star Trek Cocktail and 3 cookbooks. Beam Aboard Galaxy Class, a Star Trek Next Generation podcast covering all of TNG, hosted by Steven. In order to not repeat it, listen to History with the Szilagys, a snippet of historical events from around the world, hosted by Chrissie and Jason. For the newest Trek coverage, check out Infinite Diversity, hosted by Chrissie and Thad. Curl up with a good book and delve into Beta Canon with Peter, host of the Trek Book Club on Twitter and Blue Sky, and his companion Trek Book Club podcast. Test your Trek knowledge with Treksperts Quiz, a Star Trek quiz show hosted and written by Davey and MC. If you're a member of Starfleet Federation or Planetary Union, go check out Union Federation, covering current Star Trek and the Orville, which we all know is really a Trek show, hosted by Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley. Head over to YouTube and watch The View Screen live on Sundays, your Trek-inspired talk show hosted by Calvin and Amy with new 8-week seasons in the spring and fall. Spill the tea with Christos while he discusses current Trek news and events and explores the world of fandom via guest interviews, all with an LGBTQIA+ perspective on What's the Tea Bev. And for our patron members, we have the Hive Mind with script readings and roundtable discussion, It's Green, a cornucopia of topics, and Amy's Math Moments, a quick look at math moments in Star Trek. You can keep up with all of these shows by following the network at BQN Podcasts on Instagram and Blue Sky. We know you have a choice of podcasts to choose from, and we thank you for listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
You will also be able to find Amy in STLV.
That is true.
Thank you very much for tuning in to Infinite Diversity. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Mark White for the awesome show art. Please subscribe in your favorite podcast player, and don't forget to rate and review us there as well.
And if you'd like to reach out, you can find the network on the socials at BQN Podcasts, or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. You can also talk about any and all of the BQN podcasts in our Facebook group, the BQN Collective, and on our Discord server. When you next hear from us, we'll be talking about the next episode of Strange New Worlds through the lens of time. Until then, we bid you peace and long life.